Well, you guys wanted it, so here it is. We are going to be covering the best teams in the game as of the end of the 11th anniversary 2026. This is going to be covering the top 5 teams that I think personally are the best in the game. In terms of the specifics, rotations, alternates, I'm going to be covering probably about 6 alternates, 6 alternates for each team. And as far as the different combinations and permutations, lineups and whatnot, I won't be able to possibly cover every single one. So this is going to be a generalization, going over the basics, the premise of each team, and how I feel that these teams are good. So if you guys have anything additional that you would like to add, do so in the comments. I'm doing this because you guys requested it. So if you guys want to see more things like this, let me know in the comments so that I can do them moving forward. Because of this site, big shout out to DokkanStats.com. I am blown away by the intuitiveness of this feature right here. I think moving forward, if I do continue to do best teams, this is the best way to show the best teams. And you'll see what I mean, because when I show the first team, I'm going to show you the whole process to how we set this up, and you'll see what I mean. So I've got 5 teams that I think are the best, and then I've also got 5 teams that I also personally enjoy using. So I'm going to include those at the end. But for right now, let me move this over so that we have some space to include my setup right there. So what you're going to see on the right, this is going to be my best team, or my team makeup, and then the underneath row is going to be the alternates. I can't show all possible alternates. I'm just showing some of the best ones. But here we go. So for this first one, I'm going to show you guys how to set this up. So you've got the screen here. You've got leader and friend. And then this is your actual battle formation. So this is rotation 1. This is rotation 2. These are your 3 bench units. For me, a general way to look at rotations and team building is you want to have a tank in slot 1. You want to have a damager in slot 2. You want to have a support in slot 3. Over the years, as the meta has evolved, the roles have become more varied, where units are capable of tanking and damaging, damaging, and supporting. So there are a lot of characters that can now do multiple things, so their roles are interchangeable. And what makes this team that I'm about to show you the best in the game is that virtually every character on the team can do anything else that is required. That is what makes this team so dominant. So we've got both of our leads, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So this is basically the 11th anniversary Power of Wishes team. So let me just start by bringing everybody onto the squad, and then we'll talk about how the different rotations can work. So then we got who else are we missing? Where's UI? Spirit Bomb Z and Spirit Bomb GT. There's Spirit Bomb Z, and then where is Spirit Bomb GT? There it is. Okay, so this is how I'm pitching it on the team on the right. So this, in my opinion, is the best team in the game. Why? Because anything that you want, you got it. You've got team stacking with the EX in slot 1. This guy is your tank, 80% damage reduction with the 4 rainbow key spheres picked up. That's a 1-turn only thing. So if you find yourself struggling to acquiring those extra rainbow key spheres every single turn, maybe you don't necessarily want to have this guy providing that stacking and defense in slot 1. You could switch him over into slot 2 and move him into attack mode. This is more of the attack mode version. Now the UI can switch into slot 1, which is honestly probably the more appropriate place to put him. Guaranteed dodge turn 1, 100% damage reduction turn 1 for this guy. You can have guaranteed dodge if you can launch your EX attack. So this unit can now fill the role that this guy was sort of doing, minus the support. And then in the slot 3, I mean, look at the insane units we have in slot 3. This guy is a damage dealer. This guy can provide 40% attack boost just by being on the rotation. EX attack can give you multiple turns of 40%. This guy doesn't need any stacking at all to hit the ground running with cataclysmic damage. This guy links very well with the Super Saiyan 4. Now, you might notice here all these different threads. This might seem overwhelming, but if you take some time to look at this and understand it, this is basically showing you synergy. Super Saiyan 4 with Super Saiyan 4, they generally link very well. You're getting the Super Saiyan link, Saiyan Roar, Shocking Speed, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. When you switch, you lose a little bit of that synergy, but it's still quite there. Like, there's a lot going on right there. So that is why this is such a great website, because you can see just how well everybody works with everyone else. So let's just say we go back, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta slot 1, we got Royal Blue Vegeta now in slot 2, right? What if we want to give him just a little bit more synergy? What if we do this? Instead of Goku, we switch to Vegeta. We get the Royal Lineage link. Maybe Spirit Bomb GT needs a little bit more juice. We could throw in Spirit Bomb Z in the slot 3. Fantastic rear guard unit, providing extra defense. Won't get you killed in the slot 3 for the most part. There can always be an exception for that. This guy, let's say you feel robbed that this guy is sitting in the slot 3, not getting most of the action. Okay, you know what? Let's throw him into the slot 1. Let's move Vegeta into slot 2 and switch him to Goku. Now you've got these two juggernauts leading the rotations. Now you've got your two Spirit Bomb units in the slot 3 providing rear guard on top of this guy, or maybe you can keep this guy on the main rotation with him, and you can have Goku do some damage while getting extra defense from the blue Goku. And now all of a sudden your rear guard is a unit that can get guaranteed dodge with his EX super, or a unit that has insane damage reduction, and especially after he supers, he's going to be even more tanky. Any role that you need for these guys, they can do it. Probably the weakest one would be this dude in slot 1. He's got 54% damage reduction and guard in the slot 1. I also give my unit max dodge, so that makes him even more consistent. But if that's the only concern, just don't put him in slot 1. There are 5 other spots that you can put this guy, and you can still be as effective, if not more so. If you want to bring in some more rainbow orb changing, maybe the focus of your offense stems from this guy getting the 4 rainbow keysters so that you have a solid defensive wall every single turn, you could then throw in units like, maybe we take this one out, we could throw in Pan. Tech Pan provides rainbow orb changing. It's a dodge unit in the slot 2 or 3, mind you, but still rainbow orb changing. Okay, so now this is a problem. So how do you find, just do Pan? Okay, there you go. You throw in Pan. Let's just go full GT, because you can see on the right here, I've got some alternates. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4s. So let me make this a more GT-centric team. I'm not going to be doing this for every single squad, by the way. I'm just doing this for the first one just to show you how great this resource is. So let's bring in another Pan. Let's do the STR Pan. Okay, so we got 2 supports right there. We'll put Spirit Bomb GT right here. Now we're going to bring in Gogeta. Nope, that's not how you spell Gogeta. Gogeta. This guy, and then you got the Super Saiyan 4s. Now all of a sudden, when this guy transforms into Gogeta, you've got more rainbow orb changing, rainbow orb changing, rainbow orb changing, team defense with this guy, and then as an insurance policy, a Spirit Bomb GT in the slot 3 that can either stay as just a damage dealer, or if you need to, switch him onto maybe this rotation where you want to have this guy launch his active skill, doing all that to boost up everyone, and then this guy gets to launch his crazy supers at the last slot. So everything based around Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is basically your best team in the game. So I still think my original build is better, but you can do all sorts of different things with your alternates and then some. These are not even all the ones that I'm showing here. Like Turtle School Goku, for example, Kai Fighters, he's basically immortal in the slot 3, right? Because once he gets hit with a KO attack, he has 80% chance to dodge on a dime. This, oh, by the way, this is all filtered based on like optimization. This is a really cool, like the way that this person built the site is really impressive. Based on everybody on your team, they sort of give you the options at the top, focusing on synergy. Like GT Heroes makes more sense since the majority of your team is GT Heroes. But if we switch this back to what it was before, well, it won't necessarily be showing all that. So if I go Ultra Instinct, this guy was Daimma, Super Saiyan 4. Now all of a sudden, the options shift a little bit, right? So maybe we take out Spirit Bomb Z and we bring in Turtle School. That gives you another rotation of immortality because he won't get you killed. Yeah, I threw in Resurrection F blues. What of it? What of it? Okay, blue doesn't work. What if I do SSG SS? Does that work? No. Okay, so it just works by name. Goku Vegeta. So let's go down here. Let's look for the int Resurrection F blues. A unit that in the slot 2 or 3 can be very effective, both as this form and as the blue form. Guaranteed crit. You get extra defense if this guy is leading your rotations. Maybe you do something like this. And you had Daimma on the previous rotation giving 40% boost to everybody. Now this rotation is looking pretty good. Or better yet, you put this guy in the slot 1. You have Resurrection F Blues Vegeta in the slot 2. And you got this guy in the slot 3. Actually, their synergy doesn't change. Oh, what do you know? Wouldn't have known that unless I actually did the event. So there you go. Love this team. Best team in the game. That's why we just spent 10 minutes talking about the Power of Wishes 11th Anniversary Vegeta squad. Next up, we've got the Realm of Gods team. Now, coming out of the 11th anniversary, we are losing some major heavy hitters. MUI's temporary boost will be going away, or is already gone, depending on when you're watching this. LR Int Royal Blue Vegeta has also lost his boost. So he unfortunately sort of falls off in terms of the main rotations, but this guy is still very much a part of the engine of this team. But with UI as the main lead, the premise is very simple. This guy leads your slot 1. And then your slot 2 can be more offense oriented. You could have this guy do it. You could even have the UI switch since he got a super easy. This is fantastic synergy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 links between them. This guy can get great opportunities to stack early. The 7th anniversary LR EZAs are among the best aging EZAs out there, along with this UI, by the way. because you don't necessarily have to be stacking all the way until turn 7. Just a couple of stacks on the first few turns with the extra synergy, with the support that you get from someone like this guy. This unit is going to be very effective just as a canceling unit, as a dodger, once you get to turn 3, turn 5, oh no, not turn 3, turn 5 or turn 7. So giving this unit ample time early to stack is a great thing. This unit can provide extra team dodge for superclass Realm of God units. In terms of the slot 3 supports, you're not getting that as much. This guy is your main focal point in terms of the slot 3 supports, but it's not really that important because these units are going to be doing most of the work anyway. Plus, with their insane synergy here, that sort of serves as a support. And by the way, all of these links are maxed out. So if there's 2 things to take away from this video, number 1, link leveling is very important for optimal efficiency and team synergy. And also, this guy is everywhere, so get him. This guy is on every team basically because he is that good. He is that important. This blue Goku can do it all. So look at that. Oh my god, I love this. I'm gonna keep on glazing the site all video. But yeah, so this is our team. Anyone can kind of rotate anywhere you need to. I'm a little wary of this guy being in the slot 1 at all times. He does have a decent amount of dodge, but for someone like me, for some reason, this unit hates my guts. So I don't necessarily want this guy to be in the slot 1. I would maybe feel more comfortable slot 2 or maybe even slot 3 just to get some extra defense under his belt while the STR Blue Goku gives that to him. You've got Revive with this guy. You've got insane support with this guy. So what are some alternates? Well, I show it on the right here. You could bring in the Goku Black Rose. Maybe if you want to switch things up, you could actually do something like this where you've got UI and Royal Blue together. And instead of the gods, you could throw in Rose. There you are. And you could have these two together. You would be providing 60% defense and you'd be providing 60% offense. Wait, does this guy, is it for extreme class or is it for, no, it's allies. Yeah. So you're going to be giving 60% defense, 60% attack to your slot 3. So all of a sudden this dude in slot 3, link wise, not the greatest, but being the beneficiary of 60% attack, 60% defense, this guy can start doing some crazy things. Maybe this guy, or maybe this guy, right? Or you can substitute this guy in for Resurrection F Blues. Resurrection F Blues is also a fantastic option just as a substitute lead. If you don't necessarily have the physical UI Goku, Resurrection F Blues leads Realm of Gods and Pure Saiyans. These two work very well together. This guy stacks attack. This guy provides team defense, so that works. Now all of a sudden, this is a pretty solid rotation. Swap him to this. Oh yeah, they don't link up, right? See, it shows you all that. That's so cool. That is amazing. I also threw in Champa. I know that Champa is kind of a hit or miss, but I do think that Champa's support is very underrated, and I actually very much like Champa on this Realm of Gods team just because this is the only place where you can really use him. He's not going to give you much in terms of linkage. He will give you Fierce Battle, but he gives you like 60% attack and defense, I believe. He also has the chance of a 1666% offensive boost for himself, which is pretty nice. He can give himself crit, damage reduction. So I like him. Also, a sleeper pick that I don't show on this squad, Anine. Free to play Anine is actually, I think she's going to be aging a little bit better. Oh, she's not even here. Oh God. I don't think she's even here. What if I do super int? Oh, there you go. Wait, how do you spell her name? What's her name? Whatever. Yeah, she's not going to link with anybody, but Anine, I like Anine. She very nice. Where are you? Anine, my girl. How do you spell her name? Oh, it's double N. Okay. So she provides 60% attack and defense. She can give some heal at the start of the turn, maybe even 16% heal. She has damage reduction. She has dodge. She gets even more dodge when your health drops. And she also has the ability to turn into a giant form, which can help sort of, cancel out a series of attacks for a turn. So I think that we have some pretty nice alternates here. Blue Vegito, I don't think gets enough credit. He actually still works very well on these sorts of teams. If we go super physical, God, I love this website. I love it. Where are you? Super Vegito or Vegito Blue? Yeah. This guy also works very well. Plus his countering with the defense boost, please. Realm of Gods is in still a very good place post 11th anniversary. Coming up next, we got Daimma. Yes, Daimma is one of the best teams in the game, even though you might have forgotten about them since the start of part 2 of the 11th anniversary. But believe it or not, Daimma still cooks. The premise is simple. Goma leads on one rotation, provides multiple instances of team defense for multiple turns, all the while stacking himself insanely, I might add. You've got double Super Saiyan 4 Daimma Goku providing 40% attack boost for the turn, potentially multiple turns if you get the EX going. You've got Team Guard provided by the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Daimma. You've also got extra defense if this guy is in the slot 3. Maybe you want him to be in the slot 2. The defense boost would happen contingent on the EX supers and then of course his passive. But you could also have the mini Super Saiyan 4 Daimma linking up with the other Super Saiyan 4 Goku, so that's even more firepower. And then in your slot 3, you've got Majin Do. I always get them mixed up. Majin Do. This guy, when he shows up on the first turn, when he comes back on turn 4, he will use his insane ability where he can split the field into the 3 different types of orbs, giving him 800% attack. He can give himself extra dodge, extra critical, extra everything basically for 1 turn. Also, he can scout for 1 turn on the character's entry. This guy is a good extra kind of wild card unit, as if you really needed it, but he will also give you some better kind of link up with, or not really, I guess not too much. Yeah, I mean, if you want a more extreme focused rotation, you could have these 2 together. You want to maybe have him on the rotation for a couple of turns. These 2 would work out. But even if they don't, look at that. You still get the same sort of synergy between the Daimma Super Saiyan 4 and the Majin Buu. But this is a good wild card floater. And then again, this Kai Fighters Goku, this is why I always recommend people pick up this unit. This guy can kind of work on any team. Again, this is your immortality slot 3 piece. If you put him in slot 3 anywhere, he'll raise defense. He'll get hit. If he almost dies or if he falls below, what is it, 50%, he gets 80% dodge. He's not going to get you killed. This gives you that nice safety and security in the slot 3. So everything is working pretty well. Here you have to be a little bit more strict on the placement of characters. So a weakness would be on an event that uses coercion, which is locking rotations. Maybe this guy is locked in the slot 3. Well, that changes things because now you might have to have someone like this guy in the slot 1. Maybe your unit is not as dodge capable in the slot 1. Maybe you don't feel comfortable with this guy about to eat an AGL super attack. Well, you could throw this guy in there because he does have some dodge, or you could throw in this guy because he has the ability to survive KO attacks. So there is some flexibility, but maybe not as much as that first team that we showed, or even the second team. But still, Daimma is a very powerful team, as much as some people may not want to admit it. As far as alternates go, I just put one Daimma unit here to sort of be an all-encompassing term for everybody. Any Daimma unit would work. The more superclass Daimma characters you have, the better. We could substitute all of these. We could even take out Goma. We just have it be this, and we could throw in super. You could actually even do it this way. Let me try this. What if we move this guy into the slot 2, or better yet, what if we just take this guy out of the rotation? We bring in another Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta as your friend lead. Now you're gonna have double Vegeta in the slot 2. And then what you could do is you could have maybe Daimma Super Saiyan 4 here. Let's have Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta lead the rotations. Now you've got guard and you've got damage reduction in the slot 1 because of this guy. It'll take a few turns to get there. So maybe initially you could do something like this, but then eventually when this guy gets his team guard, you could have that. You could provide multiple turns of multiple sources of defense. This guy provides offense in the slot 3. And then you throw in whoever else you want. You could bring in this guy for rear guard action, or maybe throw him into slot 1 to provide team defense. If you want to make this a more tanky sort of team, this guy can fit on to this squad with that 60% defense boost, and then you could have all your damages in slot 3. So there is some flexibility, but if you're trying to keep it as a core essential Daimma team, then I think the first build is a more sensible one. I think this is honestly more fun. Defense is good and all, but let's face it, offense is more flashy. Offense is more enjoyable to watch. I would rather just do that. So let's put this guy back here. If I want to bring in Glorio, I could do that. Where's Glorio? Where you at? Good idea. We'll do that. We could throw in, you know what? Hot take here. Well, not a hot take because it's not even that much of a stretch. It's true. This guy is a fantastic EZA. Orb changing, 90% damage reduction. Maybe your rotations are all screwed up to start. You don't have Goma anywhere. He's in slot 7. He's not going to be showing up for 3 turns. This guy can set you up. He will do orb changing. He will give you 90% damage reduction while being in the slot 1. This guy can start picking up all those orbs and go crazy. If you're smart with your orb management, you can not only get this guy going, you can leave some orbs for the next Super Saiyan 4 to pick up. Once this guy loses some of his damage reduction, he will float off into the slot 3, and now you've got Goma back into slot 1. So Daimma team, very, very good. The Daimma engine, very, very powerful. Defense might be a little questionable in certain spots, but I don't think you're going to notice that with this guy providing team defense, with this guy providing team defense, and, you know, you just killing the opponent before they get to do anything. Solid team. Respect the Daimma. And notice the alternates over here. Gohan, UI Goku, Super Saiyan 4. Yeah. We got to show the bad guys some love here. The extreme side, the best extreme team in the game. We're looking at it. Double Omega Shenron. Domain, domination, maximum carnage. You are doing extra damage on enemies. There's damage reduction and then there's damage induction, I guess. This team can do extra damage on enemies. This is a great way to sort of accelerate your way through certain fights where the enemy might be a little too tanky. These guys can soften them up a little bit. But this is centered around having your Omega on the main rotation. Sometimes, though, there can be a bit of an issue in terms of synergy, depending on who you bring. This is, in my opinion, a fantastic GT Boss support. But the problem is, since Omega might not necessarily be the best slot 1 in every situation, you might want to have someone like the Rosé in slot 1, or better yet, guaranteed dodge Legic for 1 turn in the slot 1. That will leave a situation where Omega has to be next to Omega. And if that happens, it's not that big a deal because you're still getting synergy with these guys. This unit gets extra damage reduction from having the Omega Shenron on the rotation with that passive where you can give damage reduction by 10% to GT bosses. So if you got this one and you got this one going, that's 20% extra on top of his, I think, is it 40% damage reduction that he already has? Let me see here. He gets 20% damage reduction for every extreme class, excluding himself. So yeah, 40% plus the extra 20% from the physical Omega Shenron that you would be getting every single turn with the Rainbow Orb Key Sphere. That's 60% damage reduction. That's pretty good. It's still not going to solve everything, so there is a bit of a defensive weakness here, but I built this unit with maximum dodge to specifically target that issue. But you can see here, with the turn 1, Sin Shenron is the most effective. After that, you might float him off. And maybe your Legic hadn't yet showed up. You can then move Legic into the slot 1. This team is a little bit more dynamic in terms of where people have to go. It's not set in stone like the other teams. So you have to be a little bit more creative. But the trade-off is that while you have to be a little flexible, the payoff is great synergy, great damage from your main attack dogs. Rosé, Omega Shenron, the Legion of Shadow Dragons free-to-play is a great synergy, a great link buddy with the Omega Shenron, depending on your typing, whoever you're fighting. This can also be your slot 1 in certain situations. They do have their own individual damage reduction. This Legion of Shadow Dragons, I believe, can get up to 49% per GT Boss or Extreme Class ally on the team, whichever one has more. We've got full Extreme Class, so that's giving us 49% damage reduction. 49% plus 10 from this guy, and then plus 10 from this guy. That's 69% damage reduction. Again, not going to solve everything, but they're more resilient than you think. Rosé being on this team furthers the Big Bad Boss agenda, 60% attack buff to all allies on the rotation, making these characters in the slot 2 or 3 more ferocious. Now, in terms of replacements, there are quite a few, but these are some of my favorites. I actually think this guy is one of your best options to bring because of the Rainbow Orb changing that the Omega Shenron can give. That's going to give this guy as a Big Bad Boss extra critical power, damage reduction, and overall a much more easy time picking up a ton of orbs to make his nuking passive even better. This guy on his super attack can do a ton of damage. He has the old school EX super attack format, 30% chance to increase his power. When he does, he'll do even more damage, but he will also nerf the enemy. He can tank very, very well. This guy is a great option. Of course, Nova Shenron is there. He's a free to play. These two guys are also good. Baby, the Easy A. This guy's never available because he's banned on all events, but if you can bring him, he's fantastic. The STR transforming Baby is also very good. The only downside is that he kind of needs more corroded body and mind characters on his transform state to fully get the tankiness that he wants. He misses 30% damage reduction when he doesn't have corroded body and mind on the whole rotation. So if that's a problem for you, then you don't necessarily have to use him. You might not even have him, because by the time the 11th anniversary has ended, this guy has not yet come back. So most people probably don't have him. In the slot 3, you're really only just looking for characters that you want to float off, right? Because your main rotations are essentially set with these guys. So it's really just about the slot 3. If you don't have Legic, we take out Legic. You could throw on someone like Int Fatboo, because Int Fatboo, all he has to do is get killed, get a revive, then he has a stall. With the stall, you could do a ton of cheap shot damage without having any worry of, punishment. And this guy will have essentially done what he needed to. He stalled, he gave you more time so that everyone else can do what they needed to in terms of damage output, and boom, you win. That can be good. Tech Super 17 is an underrated asset that you can run on Battle of Fate type events or just GT boss in general. He doesn't stack defense as much, but he has, I think, up to 51% damage reduction. So if you combine that with the extra damage reduction that the Omega Shenron gets, this guy's actually not bad on the defense event. 17%. Let's see, 17%, 17%, and 17%. Yeah, 51. So 51 plus 10 plus 10, 71% damage reduction. He can get more defense up to 70%. And he raises defense on his regular super, which will be launching multiple times. So put some respect on the GT boss. They are still among the best teams in the game by far. Oops, I actually only had the top 4. I didn't have space for the 5th one on my teams. So yeah, it's actually top 4. My bad. But anyway, I want to go over some honorable mentions. I think that the Rose Clones is still one of the best teams in the game. Now, not best in the conventional sense. They will not be doing as much damage nearly as the other teams that you've seen in this video so far. But in terms of accessibility, availability, synergy, look at how many strands we've got going across the board here. They're all getting the same stuff. If you move the summonable Rose into the slot 1, everybody else gives everyone else all of their links. So these guys are basically competitive with some of the best Dokkan Festival units out there, and they're all free. This guy in the slot 1 gives you near guaranteed dodge. This guy's your setup. Everyone has the big bad boss link, so that's 25% for everybody. This guy is your scouter. You can see where all the attacks are going to happen. If it's in a certain spot where maybe this guy can tank it, you can put him in the slot 1, have everybody else link up. This guy gives you attack stacking. This guy gives you defense stacking. This guy gives you cancellation and I think also attack stacking. But all in all, this is still one of the best teams in the game, no matter what. This is not going to change until we get a better free-to-play team that can transcend this in terms of damage. And now that this guy is available with coins, this is without question one of the best teams in the game. Not as hard-hitting, but still very reliable. You can get through 95% of the game's content with this team. After that, well, you know what? We'll just keep it here. I don't need to keep changing. Here's another team that I enjoy using, Demonic Power. So we got double Goma. Goma is one of the most fun units to use, honestly. So running double Goma is not something you get to do all that much. So whenever you can, you should. And Goma has some nice link buddies. Garlic Jr. is a free-to-play. Works very well. Lord Slug has sort of seen a little bit of a second wind because of the Demonic Power focus that sort of happened with Goma's release, Mini Super Saiyan 4, and other Daimma characters. I think Lord Slug has had a bit of a resurgence in terms of what he brings to the table. Buhan, again, great beneficiary of the Big Bad Boss link plus Demonic Power. Golden Frieza now is obtainable with coins, so everyone has access to the Golden Frieza with a full extreme side. You can have all the attacks focus on him in the slot 3, maximizing his destructive capabilities. Majin Du, again, can work in the slot 3 because you've got 2 other Daimma characters, so that fits all of his conditions. But the main thing is to have Goma on the rotation, both units providing rotating defense on multiple occasions, with their best link buddies accompanying them. So it would be Lord Slug and it would be Garlic Jr. Does this guy link well with Goma? Not as much. What about Frieza? It's about the same, but you don't get the Big Bad Boss link like you do with Lord Slug. Lord Slug can also scout. So I like this team. I wouldn't say that this is at the same level as the others, but it's fun for me. And I get to run double Goma, which is a fun reason to play. Next up, we've got my Avengers. Now I know I'm gonna get clowned for it, but you know, the fact is I liked using them. I liked using them for a while. It's changed a little bit. I do have some sour feelings now, I must admit, but I still love my Avengers. All right, I love my Universe 7. I am the Universe Survival Saga nerd. So let me just throw everybody on here that I would throw onto this team. And yes, some of y'all are gonna laugh at me. Proceed, feel free. Just don't be mean in the comments. Go ahead, I can take it. I can take it. Okay, so you got your main rotation, slot 1, UI. Slot 2, the other stacking UI. Slot 2, Royal Bleu, because this guy will get stronger over time. Also, you have team defense giving everybody extra dodge. You've got a revive slot 3. You've got a revive slot 3. You've got a domain. This guy's great. He's so great. Now, the main reason why I have him is because of his domain. His domain makes the dodge more useful again, because you lose that, you know, on certain fights. This guy, after turn 5 from first appearance, he can overwrite it, and that will make this guy's actives even more destructive. I hit, I think, 17 plus million attack stat with Royal Blue Vegeta on that domain. I think it was something like this. I'm pretty sure it was a rotation like, I mean, the domain was out on the field, and then I think we had something like this. I think this is what happened. So look at all of this. Look at all this spiral power flowing into the Vegeta. We did 200 something. I don't remember which video it was, but it was insane. The best moments that can happen with this team are pretty epic. The low points are also pretty abysmal. So I understand that it is a double-edged sword, but it's my Universe Survival Saga team, and I love them. Look, when you love something, you love them through thick and thin. Even if the thin is this moron failing to dodge or this idiot who can't dodge. I know. I couldn't get better, okay? 90% dodge. How the Oh. The sensor button didn't work. How in blazes am I supposed to get better at dodging? Okay, be quiet. All right, next up, we got the Corroded Body and Mind baby team. Why is my curse button not working? Hello? Oh, there it is. Okay. The Corroded Body and Mind team, sort of a sleeper. Not many people use this because not many people have access to the character. But I like this team mainly just because I don't get to use too many baby characters. So we've got Bebe, and then we've got, well, let me remove that. Let's throw in you, and then let's throw in, I guess, you. And then we can bring in the 3 free-to-play baby units in the slot 3. So the way that this team works, everybody's Corroded Body and Mind, so everybody's passives are firing on all cylinders. You've got the big bad boss connection with these guys. You've got guaranteed dodge on 2 separate occasions with this guy. These 2 can stack. Depending on what you're looking for, you can probably put this guy slot 1. If you need to swap this guy out for maybe like the trunks, that can give you a slot 1. But what happens ultimately is that with these guys on the main rotation, you are getting a steady, ample supply of support from these 3 free-to-play characters. They all provide attack plus 18% for 3 turns. So you're basically just padding on the stats over and over and over. This is far less impressive than what it used to look like before the 11th anniversary when they started doing this multi-turn support meta so much. Before that, this was the team to really start doing that a lot. This guy has good defensive, offensive capabilities when the full rotation is Corroded Body and Mind. When Baby is on the rotation, not the greatest team, but it's fun. And like I said, these are honorable mentions just in terms of some sleepers that I enjoy using. And I got a couple more here. I got 3 more, in fact. So let's go over Hybrid Saiyans. Actually, I'm gonna skip the hybrids. With the arrival of the Tech Pan EZA, she's actually very good, both as a lead and just an overall unit. This works very well in the Hybrid Saiyans youth team. This was one of the best teams, hardest hitting teams in the game before the 11th anniversary. With this unit with full passive, doing tons of damage. This guy and this one together, they were doing destructo damage. But now with Pan sort of helping shoulder some of the responsibilities in the slot 1, you can move this unit post guaranteed dodge into the slot 2, but either as Gohan or as Goten Trunks, which is probably what you're going to run. And with everyone being Hybrid Saiyans, everyone being youth, you've got maximum dodge, you've got maximum conditions for everybody, and this team looks like it's going to be doing some really, really good things in terms of damage. The only weakness will be the slot 1. There can be some issues. Once this guy fully maxes out his passive, he might still get you killed because he only gets the damage reduction after attacking the ultra super attack on the enemy that hits him. You have dodge that goes up to 58%, so maybe this guy might not necessarily be the best slot 1. Maybe you can swap it to this, or you just have Trunks and Goten as your slot 1, and then maybe you bench this guy into slot 3, have these 2 together, or better yet, you could have these 2 as a rotation and then have these guys in the slot 3. This is probably the weakest one in terms of defense. Once he gets hit enough, he will build up extra dodge and damage reduction. Not everybody on the team has the Kamehameha link, so that also affects his damage reduction to an extent. But with these 2 giving permastats to youth, I think that this team is worth mentioning. And if you have these guys, I think you can compete with the best of them in terms of damage output. You also got scouting with this Pan. Nice team. Very nice team. Superheroes. These guys released during New Year's. They have now come back on the Summon Point banner, so not many people may necessarily have this team. But what I like about this team is the makeup is very simple. Gohan, slot 1. Gamma 1, slot 1. Gamma Dos can be your slot 2. This guy provides great extra stats to Gamma characters, so this is your slot 2. This guy also works because if you switch this guy to the Gamma form, they link up very, very well. Or you can switch this guy into Piccolo, and now Piccolo can link very well with the other Piccolo. You got Beast Gohan in the slot 3. Using the target focus, you can redirect all attacks to him. Probably not going to be the best idea in general, but you have the option. And then you've got your ultimate attack dog right here. If you want to, if the situation calls for it, you move this guy into the slot 2 to link up with the Gohan. You can switch this guy to the slot 3. You can have both of the Gammas in the slot 3, meaning 2 out of every 3 turns, Gamma 1 is linking up or helping the Gamma 2. And maybe you can put Beast Gohan right here, and you can move Gamma into the slot 2 like this. Now you've got good synergy moving forward with this guy handling most of the attacks. This is obviously not nearly as effective as what it used to be because he doesn't have the same level of defensive potency like Super Saiyan Vegeta would have or Turtle School Kai Fighters, but he can still give you a good amount, especially for the first, 5 turns, 6 turns, something like that. So yeah, I like this team. This is still a fun team to run. You could still remove a few units, like you could throw this guy out, bring in LR Gogeta Frieza, Orange Piccolo, pretty far down the list. It was actually kind of funny when I was looking for the optimal units to include. Piccolo was all the way down here. I think it's because Piccolo's kind of losing his steam a little bit. This guy's good. Actually, wait, does he fit? Is he Battle of Wits? I think he is, yeah. So yeah, there's still a lot of, oh yeah, this guy. Let's throw this guy in there. You know what? Boom. That's what I'm saying. This is one of the best units in the game. He works on every team. Superheroes, still goated. And last but not least, we've got androids as one of my other favorite teams to run. I didn't have time. I didn't want to, you know, make this a 100-hour video. But androids, double android 16. So the idea here is your android 16 will lead the rotations. On one of the rotations, you could have tech 17, 18 provide the link super attack. Also, this guy's a great just nuking ability and stalling and all that. And then you could also bring Cell. Cell got so much better with this new androids lineup. And then we'll bring in a super easy A Cell. You could even bring in the transforming AGL Cell, but I'm going to bring in this guy because great big bad boss connection. Also, you got 19 Dr. Giro. This is probably not the best team in terms of like optimizing links, but it's just a fun team to use. Where the hell is, okay. This is still just a very fun team to use for me. And let's bring in physical Android 18. The reason why I'm bringing Android 18 is because maybe you don't want to necessarily do this. You want to keep the Android 17, 18 in the slot 3. 2 out of every 3 turns. Ew. 2 out of every 3 turns, you would get the link super attack with this guy. Yikes. No, this is way better. look at the difference. Wow. The visual is so nice here. Oh, what does this do? Switch to simple view? Oh, I see. Maybe you don't like to see all this. You could just see that. Oh, this is fantastic. Dude, this site is amazing. Whoever made this, kudos, major props. This is awesome. So this is another fun androids team. The Android 16 has not yet come back. When he does come back, androids will be much more favorable because it'll be more accessible. But these are just some of my favorite teams. But again, in terms of the best teams, let me once again review. Best team overall, I think, is the, I guess we should switch here. Best team overall is going to be the 11th anniversary Power of Wishes team led by the Vegeta. Then we've got Realm of Gods. Then we've got Daimma. Then we've got the Omega GT Boss and like Inhuman Deeds team. These are 4 of the best teams in the game. And then I went over some of my other favorites, some sleepers that deserve some recognition. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below in the comments your thoughts on these top teams that I have provided in this video. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are some other teams that I should have mentioned maybe in the top 4? Who is your top 5? Who would your number 5 team be, assuming my 4 teams are your top 4 as well? And what is your favorite personal sort of sleeper team that not many people give too much credit to? For me, like I said, it would probably be the free-to-play Rose clones. But what is another team that I didn't mention here that you think should deserve some recognition? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you should know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. And ours to Dokkan responsibly. I'm going to round this video up to a nice, juicy 38 minutes.